Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Thursday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is April 19th, 2018. And now, the news at noon.
Reported by the Durango Herald, authorities said Wednesday they are close to wrapping up a months-long investigation into a school shooting that left 2 students dead and rocked a rural community in New Mexico. The San Juan County Sheriff's Office said in a statement that there are a handful of theories as to why the gunman opened fire inside Aztec High School on December 7th, killing Francisco Paco Fernandez and Casey Jordan Marquez shortly after classes started that morning. But the Sheriff's Office said the only factual conclusion investigators have made is that the shooter had serious issues and was hell-bent on mass casualties for his own personal notoriety. Investigators declined to comment further, saying they plan to release more information once the inquiry is complete. The 21-year-old gunman, William Atchison, ambushed Fernandez in a bathroom and then encountered Marquez in the hallway. Both students were shot multiple times before the gunman walked the hall, firing randomly. He then killed himself as students and teachers took cover in their classrooms. Authorities have said notes left behind by the gunman detailed his plans to gear up after making his way onto campus and then shoot up a classroom. The notes reflected frustrations with work and life in general. The shooter did not have a criminal record, officials have said. The only contact with law enforcement was that they initially described as a generic message on an online gaming forum in 2016 in which he talked about what weapons might be used in mass shooting.
From the Journal in Cortez, photo Jerry McBride. The door has opened a bit wider for oil and gas development in southwest Colorado under the Trump administration, and the time frame for public comment and protest periods is expected to be shortened as a result. A January 31st directive issued by the U.S. Department of Interior means the local Tres Rios Bureau of Land Management office could have up to 4 oil and gas lease sales per year, up from just 1. The new policy supersedes a 2010 Interior Department order that limited lease sales to 1 per year for each BLM district. The directive for additional lease sales also applies to BLM-managed fluid minerals in national forests. But whether that means there will be an increase in drilling in the area is unknown, said Connie Clemenson, field manager for the Tres Rios BLM based in Dolores. In a federal mineral lease sale in March, the Tres Rios BLM office sold 4 parcels totaling 1,400 acres for $10,063. The parcels are in La Plata and San Miguel counties and were sold to R&R Royalty. The leases to extract fluid hydrocarbons are awarded for a term of 10 years. BLM officials point out that additional drill site environmental reviews and possible mitigation are required before drilling can begin. The federal government receives a royalty of 12.5% of production value, and Colorado receives 49% of revenues from leases issued. As a result of new leasing reform rules, the Tres Rios office has begun planning for a second potential sale this year, Clemenson said, in addition to its usual March sale. By June 1st, officials will know whether there are expressions of interest from industry to tap local oil and gas reserves. Then public comment would be sought and a sale would be arranged for December. The rollout period for lease sales will go from 9 months to 6 months, Clemenson said. We're expecting shortened comment period timeframes, so people will have to be aware of those new timeframes. Exact changes to public comment periods are being worked out by the state, said BLM Public Affairs Specialist Shannon Borders. She said they expect to figure it out by June 1st. Also under the new rules, protest periods for new leasing will be shortened to just 10 days, and leasing can be authorized while the protest merits are considered. Reported at the recent DCDC meeting, in Dolores County, Kinder Morgan is looking to open up at least 2 new holes this year, with potential for additional CO2 access on the east side of the river also being discussed.
Reported by the Durango Herald, a 27-year-old Colorado man has been arrested in the theft of a Dukes of Hazzard-themed snowcat on a trailer from outside a restaurant near Vail last month. The Vail Daily reports that while the large orange-treaded snow vehicle was recovered in Grand Junction soon after it was taken March 11th, the suspect wasn't arrested until April 9th in Boulder. Jason Cuervo was arrested on an Eagle County warrant charging him with aggravated motor vehicle theft. He faces several other charges. Cuervo remained jailed in Boulder County on Wednesday with his bail set at $15,000. His next court appearance is set for May 3rd. The snowcat was recovered after a woman followed it into Grand Junction and called the sheriff's office because she was curious why it was being towed by a small pickup truck.
The Farm Bill draft would end SNAP benefits to jobless caregivers. People ages 50 to 59 would need to get a job or lose benefits. That's the headline from the Journal, reporting with Colorado News Connection. Photo credit, Herald File photo. The U.S. House Agricultural Committee is expected to hear a draft farm bill that would require millions of people currently caring for children and those between the ages of 50 and 59 to find a job or lose their Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, aka SNAP. Catherine Ferguson, policy director for the group Hunger Free Colorado, warned that if it passes, the measure would increase hunger across the country and create more hurdles for people looking for work. Ferguson said the bill would end or reduce benefits for tens of thousands of Coloradans already living on tight budgets. Representative Michael Conaway, Republican from Texas, who chairs the Ag Committee, said the changes are necessary to break what he called a cycle of poverty. Other proponents claim they'd prompt people who are struggling to get off public assistance and back into the workforce. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows that, for the most part, working-age adults aren't dependent on SNAP, the program formerly known as food stamps, and that only children, the elderly, and people with disabilities receive food assistance for extended periods of time. Ferguson said most participants already are working, but many jobs don't pay enough to make ends meet. She said, "We have an acute shortage of childcare, especially for Colorado's rural communities and in communities where the wait for childcare may be months." She said she thinks the bill would add costly layers of bureaucracy by creating a duplicative enrollment database in an effort to reduce potential fraud. She said counties would have to absorb the additional expense, and the requirements also could mean less local control. Details of the proposed bill are online at agriculture.house.gov.
Reported by the Durango Herald with a photo from the Herald File. Durango Fire Protection District routinely responds to car crashes involving pedestrians, especially during summer when tourists crowd Durango's streets. The number of pedestrian fatalities in the United States has grown substantially faster than all other traffic deaths in recent years, including in Colorado, where pedestrian fatalities reached an all-time high in 2017. According to the Colorado Department of Transportation, 93 pedestrians were killed in Colorado in 2017, up 11% from 84 pedestrian fatalities in 2016 and 45% from 2015, when 64 pedestrians died. Shoals said EMS staff members responded to 17 pedestrian accidents in 2017 and 3 so far this year. 2 pedestrians were killed in March 2017 along Main Avenue near 21st Street after a vehicle jumped a curb and hit them on the sidewalk. The driver was charged with 2 counts of careless driving, resulting in death. On average, EMS staff respond to about 15 car crashes involving pedestrians every year, Shoals said. Pedestrians represented 14% of all traffic fatalities statewide, according to a news release from CDOT. Cole said both drivers and pedestrians can be responsible for pedestrian fatalities, but more blame rests on the driver because pedestrians are incredibly vulnerable. And now let's take a look at the weather.
Looking at the national weather map from the National Weather Service, most of the rains have been pushed off the Gulf and southeastern coast, while rain and snow mix continues in the forecast from parts of Ohio, West Virginia, and on up into New England. Behind the high-pressure systems drying out the Midwest and Central Plains, there's a mix of rain and thunderstorms possible in New Mexico and western Texas, while rain and snow is in the forecast across the Intermountain West, and maybe that white circle will add some needed snow here in the San Juans and Colorado. Back into Utah and Nevada, they also are under rain and snow predictions, with rain possible in Southern California, and again, all of this is being brought in the west with strong winds. Most specifically in our region, strong south to southwest winds will develop by mid-morning and continue through late this evening as a strong storm approaches from the west. The winds will accompany very low humidities and pre-existing dry vegetation. This will once again result in critical fire weather conditions this afternoon and evening over many of the valleys in western Colorado, where fuels are critically dry and there's red flag warnings in effect. As the storm approaches, the chance of rain and snow will increase overnight. Rain and snow will develop early Friday morning. Snow levels will lower through the day as colder air moves in from the west. Significant snow accumulations are possible above 9,000 feet in much of the Colorado mountain ranges along the Continental Divide. Showers will affect much of the rest of western Colorado and eastern Utah on Friday before dry weather moves in for the weekend and into next week. An aside that the county commissioners in Dolores are monitoring the state of our forests carefully, and we're told by management experts that the dry fuel levels are about the same condition as that of California prior to their recent wildfire events over the past few years. So everyone needs to be very careful out there to get through this dry time and pray for rain and snow without the lightning this spring. Locally, the DCTV 5-day outlook shows today increasing clouds with a high near 66 degrees, windy with a south wind 15 to 20 miles an hour, increasing to 25 to 30 in the afternoon with wind gusts up to 45 miles an hour. Tonight, isolated snow showers after 2 a.m., mostly cloudy with a low around 34. Breezy with a south wind 20 to 25, decreasing to 10 to 15 after midnight. The winds, however, could gust again up to 45 miles an hour. The chance of precipitation is pretty low for us at just 20%. Friday, a chance of snow showers before 2 p.m., then a chance of rain showers. Some thunder is also possible. Partly sunny with a high near 51. South winds around 10 miles an hour, becoming west-northwest in the afternoon. The chance of precipitation increases to 30%. Friday night, a slight chance of rain showers before 7 p.m., then a slight chance of snow showers between 7 p.m. and 3 a.m., and then a slight chance of rain and snow showers after 3 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33 degrees, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, and the chance of precipitation again still low at 20%. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 62, north winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, and Saturday night mostly clear with a low around 36. And again, the weekend's nice and sunny. Sunday with a high near 68, Sunday night partly cloudy with a low around just 41. Monday mostly sunny with a high near 70 degrees. Monday night partly cloudy with a low around 42, and Tuesday mostly sunny with a high near 69. Tuesday night partly cloudy with a low around 43. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Durango Herald. For the first time, a treatment that boosts the immune system greatly improved survival in people newly diagnosed with the most common form of lung cancer. It's the biggest win so far for immunotherapy, which has had much of its success until now in less common cancers. In the study, Merck's Keytruda, given with standard chemotherapy, cut in half the risk of dying or having the cancer worsen, compared to chemo alone after nearly 1 year. The results are expected to quickly set a new standard of care for about 70,000 patients each year in the United States whose lung cancer has already spread by the time it's found. Another study found that in immunotherapy combo, the Bristol-Myers Squibb drugs, Opdivo and Yervoy, worked better than chemo for delaying the time until cancer worsened in advanced lung cancer patients whose tumors have many gene flaws, as nearly half do. But the benefit lasted less than 2 months on average, and it's too soon to know if the combo improves overall survival as Keytruda did. All of these immune therapy treatments worked for only about half of the patients, but that's far better than chemo has done in the past. We're not nearly where we need to be yet, said Dr. Roy Herbst, a Yale Cancer Center lung expert who had no role in the studies. Results were discussed Monday at an American Association for Cancer Research conference in Chicago and published by the New England Journal of Medicine. These studies were sponsored by the drug makers and many study leaders, and Herbst consult for the companies.
Reported in the Telluride News, courtesy photo, Brandy Randall is ready to make the Rico Enterprise Bar and Grill a must-see destination along State Highway 145 in Dolores County. After assuming ownership of the historic watering hole in 2017, Randall plans to buy the building by the end of 2018, which includes several hotel rooms on the second floor, and revamp the decor and overall Rico experience. We want to restore the historic value of the building and bar. We want to make it feel like the 6th oldest bar in Colorado when you walk in, she said. We're trying to get away from the dive bar feel. When you walk in now, there are just beer signs everywhere. Randall explained current building owner David Filgren has the space listed for around $550,000. Randall, who runs the bar with her father Michael, said she plans to put in an offer at the end of the summer when she'll be more financially prepared. Randall said the Enterprise is the 6th oldest bar in Colorado based on its age. There are, quote, official lists that don't recognize it as such, but given that a bar first opened in the building 125 years ago, it ought to qualify in the top 10 oldest bars in the state, she said. Randall added she wants the bar and building to serve as a quasi-Rico museum for visitors and locals alike. We're going to have more black and white photos that tell the story of Rico and its history throughout the restaurant, she said. You can come in and see, read, and feel the whole Rico experience as opposed to just having a beer at the bar. Having a beer and a bite to eat isn't a bad idea, though. One of the grill's specialties is what has been dubbed Enterprise Pizza, which features a crispy crust around doughy innards. Toppings run the gamut, as specialty pies include barbecue chicken and meat lovers variants. A pint of Pabst Blue Ribbon is still only $2. That's not to mention Taco Tuesdays, which runs through the winter. She said the summer menu will feature barbecue, including fried chicken Fridays, courtesy of the restaurant's new outdoor smoker. The bar's beer garden, located at the corner of Highway 145 and West Mons Avenue, directly next to the building, features picnic tables, a mini stage for live music, and the most unique bar in the Western Slope, a 1953 Chevy Express pickup truck. The beer garden will be super fun with the smoker and the bar going, Randall said. Events for the summer have already been planned, including the Ride to Rico Memorial Day Run, which welcomes all motorcycles, Jeeps, and classic cars. Randall, originally from Farmington, New Mexico, spent 6 years in Panama before moving to Rico to take over the Enterprise. For more information about the Enterprise or to keep up with events, visit their Facebook page or Instagram account, or to book a room, visit Enterprise Lodging on Airbnb.
Reported by the Durango Herald, surgeons pack donated organs on ice while racing them to transplant patients, but it may be time for a warmer approach. British researchers said Wednesday that keeping at least some livers at body temperature instead may work better. The livers keep functioning until they're transplanted thanks to a machine that pumps them full of blood and nutrients. It's a life support system for the organs, and similar machines are being explored for lung and heart transplants too. The transplant community isn't ditching affordable ice chests for the far pricier approach just yet, but proponents hope that storing organs in a way that mimics the body might eventually increase the number of transplants, by keeping precious donations usable for longer periods and allowing use of some that today get thrown away. Nearly 115,000 people are on the waiting list for an organ transplant in the United States alone, and last year there were just 34,770 transplants performed. Thousands die waiting. Partly there are too few donations. Also, donated organs can't be stored for long, about 4 to 6 hours for a heart or lung, and about 12 hours for a liver. And sometimes surgeons discard organs they fear won't do well because of a donor's age or other health characteristics.
What's your thought about potential President Hickenlooper? From the Durango Herald, photo credit AP. Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper appeared to come closer than he has to date in suggesting he might seek the presidency after an awards event Tuesday in the nation's capital. At some time, I want to sit down and spend some time to think about it, Hickenlooper told Colorado Politics. However, he said it was too soon for his decision. Not yet, the Democrat said. I got to focus on the stuff we're doing now. He added, maybe this summer. With the term-limited Hickenlooper's final term winding down, there's been much discussion of whether he might run for either president or vice president on the Democratic ticket in 2020. Some have noted his crowded schedule of appearances around the nation. This week alone, the governor's published schedule features multiple speeches and panel appearances in Washington, Chicago, Dallas, and Houston. Earlier this month, Hickenlooper stopped by Iowa, a favorite destination for presidential wannabes, and he even went to Paris last December for a climate summit. Recently, Hickenlooper's political alliances with Republican Governor John Kasich of Ohio on such issues as health care raised speculation about a possible trans-party unity ticket. Minutes before his comments to Colorado Politics, Hickenlooper had accepted the annual Friend of the Outdoor Industry Award from the Outdoor Industry Association at the Hyatt Regency Washington on Capitol Hill. The association chose Hickenlooper for the award largely because of his leadership in organizing the Colorado Outdoor Recreation Industry Office in 2015. The office is a central contact point for advocacy and resources of the state's outdoor recreation industry. Outdoor recreation contributes to about 229,000 jobs an annual revenue of $28 billion for the state. Much of it comes from skiing, camping, and hiking. The industry received a boost last week when the Colorado General Assembly approved Senate Bill 66, which reauthorizes the lottery division. Half the revenue, or about $135 million a year, goes to outdoor projects. More than 100 business executives and advocates were in Washington this week to speak with members of Congress about additional funding for the outdoor industry. They claim their industry is worth $887 billion for the U.S. economy.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of April 9th through the 15th. A report of a camouflage hat and a pair of sunglasses found going up toward the East Pines. A deputy went to investigate and did not look like anything suspicious. A caller reported a dispute between family members over property. A deputy responded and all involved parties agreed to take it up with the courts. A report of a possible crime against a senior citizen was reported. Complaint is being investigated. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. April 21st, Canyon Country Discovery Center is celebrating Earth Day 2018. They will focus on pollinators and the important role they play on the Colorado Plateau. Activities will include a pollinator walk around the CCDC campus, kids activities, and native seed bombs to take home or release around the center. This event is free and open to all ages. Purchase an admission ticket and stick around afterwards to check out the exhibit hall and climb their bouldering wall. It starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 1, located at the north end of Monticello in Utah. April 20th, an evening honoring 5 Navajo women poets, hosted by the Cortez Library. Come and listen to these Indigenous women's voices, where we will be celebrating their works and simultaneously celebrating National Poetry Month. It starts at 4 p.m. with a poet's books and visual arts sale. At 6 p.m. there will be a poetry reading by these 5 Indigenous voices, and at 7:45 p.m. there will be an open mic facilitated by the poets, where audience participation is encouraged. A little outside the box for here, but interesting, that the first annual Western Slope Hemp Convention will be held at the Creamery Arts Center in Hotchkiss. That's April 21st at 1 p.m. Music, food, drinks, vendor booths, and door prizes. There's a $10 suggested donation request. For more details, visit Hempothecary Company online. That's a mouthful. Or call 970-361-6974. And in breaking news, the Anasazi Heritage Museum is changing its name this Saturday. The Bureau of Land Management will host a ceremony to rename the Anasazi Heritage Center as the Canyons of the Ancients Visitor Center and Museum. Starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday the 21st in Dolores. Their press release says, "We encourage the public to stop by the Anasazi Heritage Center before they discover for themselves the vast array of opportunities to explore Canyons of the Ancients National Monument, so that we can help tailor an experience they will never forget." That said Marietta Eaton, BLM Monument Manager. The Canyons of the Ancients Visitor Center and Museum offers the public a place to learn about safely traveling across this beautifully rugged landscape, while simultaneously learning about the area through permanent and rotating exhibits that feature ancestral Puebloan cultures. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well.
And be sure to check us out on our Facebook page. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us and follow us there, and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.